All right, welcome back to Jed the Last Jedi's podcast, where we explore the universe in our starship, I think it's called, in Star Wars. Yeah, and today we'll be talking about Joan of Arc. Let's go, woman. All right, let's get into our feminist beginnings. All right, Joan of Arc, often called the Maid of Orleans, was born in 1412 in Domremy in a small village in France. Growing up during the 100 Years' War between England and France, she witnessed devastation caused by the two groups. This conflict would shape her into her destiny in remarkable ways. In her childhood, beginning at least 13 years old, Joan began to have visions and hear voices that she believes were from the saints. They instructed her to support King Charles VII, the Dauphin of France, and help drive the English out of France during the 100-Year War. And I mean, now imagine being a peasant girl, feeling divinely chosen as a saint, as a message from the saints. You're gonna have a lot of pressure on you. I mean, it's inspiring, but it's also hard to take in at once. So she had a lot of mental health issues along with that. All right, and then in 1429, Joan managed to convince King Charles VII to let her lead an army to the city of Orleans. This was a bold move, and considering she was a teenager and she had no formal military training, nevertheless, she dressed in armor and led her troops into battle. Her presence, and she was really good at inspiring soldiers. Like, many speeches and a lot of soldiers had scriptures of how inspiring she was. Even though she didn't have many tactics, like battle tactics, she was always motivating the soldiers. And then after the siege was lifted, that was the turning point in the war, and it was caused by her. So let's go, woman. All right, after the victory of Orleans, Joan continued to rally troops, and she played a crucial role in King Charles VII's coronation. This event was significant not only for the war, but also for French, what do you want to call it? Like French morale. As it symbolized it was a symbolization of unity and hope. Joan had fulfilled her mission of seeing Charles crowned as her king, just as shown in the visions from the saints. However, the tides of the war changed once again. In about 1430, Joan was captured by the Burgundians, who are allies of the English. During one of her military campaigns, she was handed over to the English, and she was put on trial for heresy and cross-dressing. I mean, you can't cross-dress, I guess. 1400s, that's banned, man. Joan's trial was politically motivated, and it was aimed at discrediting her for her achievements in the French. The English didn't really want to be seen that they were taken down by a woman, because it was seen as embarrassing as women. Like, women at the time were really disrespected, and they weren't cut out to be soldiers, is what they thought. So being defeated by a woman leader isn't a good look when you're misogynist. So anyways, yeah. All right, Joan was put through a grueling trial that lasted several months. She defended herself with bravery and grit, but the outcome was inevitable. I mean, you're a woman, and there's not too much to defend you during the 1400s when you are a young lady. Don't really have that much to work with. So on May 30th, 1431, she was burned at the stake of Rouen at the young age of 19. This is tragic to think that at such a young age, like, you could be so brutal. All right. However, Joan's story didn't end there. She still had influence even after her death. In 1456, a retrial found her innocent of all charges, and she was posthumously exonerated. I have no idea what that means. Joan of Arc was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church in 1920, solidifying her legacy. She was a symbol of feminism, courage, and faith, and nationalism, the pride of France. She featured in the Olympics too. Fun fact. All right. Leading to today, Joan of Arc is not celebrated as just one of the saints, but also as a feminist icon and a figure of resilience. She embodies the idea that anyone, regardless of their background, age, or gender, can change the course of history and have an effect as big as themselves. So, yep. All right. So, what can we learn in current day life from Joan's actions? The power of belief is big. It's always great to believe in yourself, and breaking boundaries set by society. As an African American, you always have things that are going to be in your way. This is personalized, but you always have things that are going to be in the way. Challenges. Always going to have to do. Well, it's been instilled in me to always do more than the. Sounds kind of wrong, but the white man next to you. You're gonna have to prove yourself more. That's just how society is. There's boundaries set out for you, even if it's not on purpose. From your peers, they're always gonna be there. And yeah, that's what I pulled from it. That's a lesson that I learned, is that you can always overcome the boundaries set for you by society. You're bigger than what your society puts you in a box to be. And facts. Alright, thank you for joining me on this episode of Jed the Last Jedi. Yeah, if you like the story of Joan's Arc, please hit the subscribe button, share the video and the pod, and until next time, keep exploring the space and the starship. Alright.